Hi there. Yesterday evening I was talking about mindful eating and how that can benefit our well-being. Well, a tip that works for me, and maybe it'll work for you, no matter what you want to give up or cut down, what works for me is choosing one thing that you would like to cut down on rather than cut out. Sometimes going cold turkey works for people, but for others, the thoughts of completely cutting something out can be really, really upsetting or overwhelming. So deciding that you want to just cut down on something, it just makes it a little easier. And also making sure that you have enough substitutes, if it's food, have enough healthier option substitutes in your house to substitute that one thing that you want to get rid of, because there's a healthy substitute for everything. If you're going somewhere, maybe bring your own. Well, we can't really go to restaurants right now, but even at home, my daughter loves baking. And so I try and encourage her to make healthier alternatives, or I make one myself. Okay, not very often, and I always have to taste what she's got, of course. So it's about having that substitute there and focusing on the substitutes, the healthier substitutes, because sometimes when we want to cut down or give up something, we become so fixated on that one thing that it becomes, complete focus of our attention. And that becomes quite, disempowering. Whereas if we focus on the other things, then they're already there for us. So it's like if somebody wants to lose weight, if they're totally fixated on losing weight, that becomes almost an obsession. Whereas if they focus on ways of being healthy and getting fit, they're focusing on things that can help them get to their end goal rather than focusing on what that end goal is. Another thing that really works for me, and I've given up alcohol at the moment, and I'll never say I'm giving up forever, because to me that's way too daunting. And I love to have a drink. I really do. But for now I've decided that I want to feel great. So for the next while, I am not going to have alcohol. And what I'm going to do is I'm not into having substitute drinks. I'll just have my sparkling water. And I really praise myself for not doing it. But the way I do it, and this also works for me with food, is if I'm really dying to have something, what I'll say to myself is, for the next minute or for the next 5 minutes, I am not going to have that. I will have X, Y, or Z instead. So it becomes like a short goal. It's not like for the whole weekend I am not going to have this. No, it's for the next 5 minutes or the next minute, because you can deal much more easily with the present moment, and it's much less overwhelming if you're just trying to focus on the next few minutes rather than the bigger picture. So choose one thing, either cut down and don't tell yourself it's forever, have healthy substitutes if that's what you want, and focus on how to get to the end goal rather than the end goal, and enjoy the journey, enjoy the process, and praise yourself and nurture yourself and be proud of yourself for the steps. Because I know when I get past that 1 minute, and that suddenly last weekend it was like 2 nights where I didn't have a drink, and I woke up the next day, I was so chuffed. But I was so proud of myself that it's more empowering that way, because then you see that you can do it. And those baby steps where you see the action, that gives you the motivation to take more action. So maybe that'll work for you. Let me know how you get on and if it is useful. Bye.